Hello, 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 hello. Happy Tuesday afternoon. I am here a little earlier than I normally am, but I am on day three of my summertime story series. If you have not been following me, you may be new to me. Thank you so much for stopping by and listening and watching my video. But I am doing 20 days of story times, telling stories about myself, about how I got through my financial journey and I got to the place of financial stability. So my name is Lisa Stringer Bailey. I'm the owner of Triple M Money Management Matters. If you have stumbled across my YouTube page or my Facebook page, thank you so much for joining me. If you have not already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel at Money Management Matters. Just scrolling across the bottom of the screen here. Definitely subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm going live. I'm going to be going live for 20 days straight. I'm on day number 3. And also give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up if you like the content, if you like my stories, and if you want to know more. Definitely follow me. So day 3, I want to talk very quickly about what the story that I started on day 1 and day 2. I started with me being in the Navy at right after high school, and in the Navy, I also was married at a very young age. And then after being deployed in the Navy, we was out on the ship for about 3 to 4 months. Came home to an eviction notice on my apartment door, and my husband was MIA, right? So now to continue with that, I of course had to make the very hard decision that yeah, marriage wasn't for me at the age of 20, and my husband, again MIA, was nowhere to be found. I couldn't find him. I'm in the military. I can't take off, go away from my military duty to try to find him and see what was going on with him. So I had to make the very hard, quick, harsh decision to file for a divorce. Now, last night I talked about how I had to consult, with my military superiors. I had to consult with my management, my supervisor, HR department, the chaplain, all sorts of people that was trying to help me get through the emotions that I was feeling, because I was really feeling very destitute, like I was alone, isolated, couldn't believe how I got here, couldn't understand what was going on with this man that I thought was in love with me. But got through that. And so some of the suggestions that I got from the support system was, you can either divorce, or you can take a leave of absence and try to figure out what's going on, or uh yeah, you're on your own. So I had to make some decisions. I had to face the music. Okay, it was just like, whoop, time to grow up. You got to figure this out, because in the last video I talked about all the financial things that was happening. I was 60 days behind in my rent. I was 60 or more days behind in utilities. I had a car payment. I had credit card debt. I had insurance. I had so many things. So what I wound up having to do was I had to do some negotiating, some communication. I'm talking about a lot about communication during this series of stories, because communicating about your money and your finances and where you are in your money management is so important. The first thing, and last night I introduced my new program that I'm going to be kicking off and introducing after these 20 days, is focus. The F in focus is face. We got to face what's going on in our money. We got to face what has happened to get you to this point. What it is that you're spending your money on. What it is that is more important to you than making sure that your that your utilities, that your rent, that your things that you need are not taken care of. So it's all about prioritizing. So I had to have some hard, harsh decision making to make. So I first got the divorce, right? And from the divorce, I felt like a failure. I felt like a complete failure and a fool. I was like, I have really failed for the okie doke, So lesson learned was, yeah, you can't, call yourself falling in love and go ahead and get married after being in love for only, 6 months or so. of course, every person is different. I truly believe in love at first sight. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm against love and marriage. But depending on your circumstances, your situations, again, it's the communication. Make sure that you talk about your money. Make sure that you talk about what they're doing with their money. Well, how are they making their money? Are they a scammer? There's so many scams out here right now. So I felt scammed. I was like, I've been scammed by a human being. I've been scammed by the man who said he was in love with me. So again, felt very destitute, and I had to make the decision to get a divorce. So there's a lot of D's in there. So anyway, I got divorced. I was destitute, and then something that one of my counselors talked to me about was sometimes when you're going through a financial situation, and this is a worth note taking, so this is part of what I help people with, what I help women, single moms, other women that has gone through situations like this. Sometimes you have to isolate yourself, and that's hard for women to do because women are natural nurturers. Okay. We want to take care of people. I wanted to take care of my husband. They want to take care of their children, which is natural. If you have children, sometimes you have to isolate yourself with your children. Single moms, if you're a single mom, get your children and isolate yourself. Sometimes you have to move to a different location, to a different city, to a different town. Sometimes you have to, if you're going through a situation with your significant other or your husband, and you're having to divorce, unfortunately, or separate from them for whatever reason, sometimes you have to humble yourself and go back home. Go back home with your parents if that's available. Go back home to another relative if they're willing to take you in. But sometimes you have to isolate yourself, and you got to make the hard decision to cut back on some expenses. For me, my story was I had to pay back all this money that was lost, all the money that my MIA husband left me with. He left me with, our rent was maybe about $800 a month. So I had about $2,000 or more that I had to pay to the rental, to the apartment complex. And then I had again credit card debt. Then I had again the light bill was behind, the water bill was behind, the cable bill was behind. All that stuff I had to take care of simply because I think it was in my name. I can't remember the particulars of my name and his name, but it really don't matter because my name was on the lease and I was in the military, so I had to be held responsible for it, or I would have had a bad mark on my military record. So I had to do some negotiating with all these companies and make payment plans, set up a payment plan. Um, Tell them my story, tell them what I was going through. A lot of times, and I've seen this too with other women, we are such nurturers and we want to be the superwoman. We don't want to admit that we made mistakes, that we don't ask for help, right? We don't want to negotiate. We don't want to tell nobody our business. We don't want nobody to know that we made a mistake. But listen, it's okay if you make mistakes in your finances. It's okay if you make mistakes in your life. When it comes to your finances, you have to own up to the mistakes, face it. That's the F in focus. Face it. You got to face what has happened and go ahead and get it in your mind that I'm going to have to speak to these people. I'm going to have to call them on the phone. I'm going to have to tell them my story. And that's what I did. I had to tell my story. I had to tell what had happened, and I had to pretty much beg and plead for some resolution, for some patience, for some forgiveness, for getting into that situation. And what happened was they were willing to work with me. People, most companies, most financial companies, credit card companies, your rental places, your apartment complexes, they want their money. They want their money. So they are willing to negotiate with you to get their money, whatever it is. So you have to be able to get to that place in your mind, in your psyche, to say, I need help. Help me. How can you help me? How can we work together to get this resolved? And then once you get that in place, you have to isolate yourself. from family, if that's the case, from that significant other, your husband, if that's the case, or friends. A lot of times, this is another point to write down. A lot of times, friends will keep you in a bad financial situations because of peer pressure. Believe it or not, peer pressure is not just in high school, it's also in adulthood. We have adult friends, we have our friends that want to go out to eat all the time, they want to go to happy hour all the time, they want to go to the mall and shop all the time, they want to drive the nicest car, and they want to know if you want to get one too, go car shopping with them, whatever the deal may be, and they peer pressure you into getting things that you may not can afford. So that's another reason why to isolate yourself. Just say, listen, I love you, but I got to do something on my own. I got to take care of this situation. I got to woman up. I got the man up. I got the woman up. I got to take care of my business. If you single moms, you got to take care of your babies, right? And if that means I can't go to happy hour every week, I can't go out every payday, I can't go shopping every payday, I can't get a new car right now, whatever the case may be, that's what you have to do. It's a hard decision to make, but it's a decision that was going to help you on your financial journey, just like it helped me. It helped me. These are the things that I had to go through. So I had to file for the divorce. I had to get the divorce. I had to feel almost, I wasn't destitute, I wasn't poor, but I thank God I had my military career to fall back on. So I did have money coming in to help me negotiate the things that I owed. So another thing, if you don't have um a good job or the military or whatever your situation is, that's where you have to really brainstorm and get out here and say, what is it can I do to get money coming in so I don't feel destitute, so that I can take care of myself and my children, right? Do I have to get a new skill? Do I have to go back to school? Do I have to take a free class? Do I have to ask for help from the family and children department of your local city? Whatever it is, you have to look for these resources. Stop being so ashamed of the mistake that you made. Okay, we have to stop the shame and just know that long as you have some type of support system, reach out and ask for help, then you can make it through. And that's kind of what I do as a financial coach, is I help women understand their options, what they can do instead of what they can't do. I know they're in a situation, they're in a financial situation, and you feel like you can't make it through. But again, sometimes you have to have a little bit of help, and ain't nothing wrong with that. So, the outcome of this whole 20 days of the going live and speaking to you all here in social media land is to come up with my focus financial framework. And it's going to be a course that you can obtain from me as a way, as another option outside of personal one-on-one coaching. So I just want to be able to help more women in their financial situations to feel like they can make it through, honey. Because look, we all been through something, as well as I've been through something. So hopefully and prayerfully, what I am, my story will help someone, right? Because I'm a Christian, so a lot of times I will use biblical principles in my financial coaching. And God always say your test is a testimony for someone else. So I've been there and I've done that and I've came through it. So now I'm reaching back and helping. Hey, Miss Christine Bailey, how you doing, honey? Thank you for joining. I appreciate you chiming in this afternoon. But that's all I got for today. But definitely follow my page on Facebook, follow me on YouTube at Money Management Matters, subscribe to my channel. I will be live again tomorrow. Don't know exactly what time because I'm busy. I'm working full time. I'm working part time. I got my business and I'm actually going on vacation. So I got a lot of things going on. You're well, wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. So Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow sometime during the day. And I'll try to jump on here and put a notice out of when I'm going live. But definitely hit that notification bell, honey, on YouTube so that you'll get notified when I'm going live. Okay? So you all have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and we will talk to you all on tomorrow.